I'm going to teach you how to make a collapsible 3-section hula hoop. First thing you do is get some pipe cutters. You could use a hacksaw or nice ratcheting ones they sell at many hardware stores. Get your tubing, select the size you want, and cut your tube. I know that pretty much everyone who's built a hula hoop before is going to know how to cut tubing. After the tube is cut, you're going to get one of these connectors. Notice that one side has been sanded down so that it is nice and smooth compared to the other side that is nice and grippy. The smooth side you're going to keep out of the hoop. Insert the threaded side and pound into the end of the tubing. Your smooth side goes in the other end, thus allowing it to slide in and out quite easily. That's your first step. For the second step, you're going to need to be able to divide your hoop into 3 equal sections, and I'm going to let you math whizzes out there figure out how to do that yourself. Since I make a lot of collapsible hoops, I have a template that I use for all the hoops I make, and it has all the markings that I need. So, you're going to mark where you need to cut the hoop. And these will be your 3 evenly spaced sections. There's step 2. And now for step 3. Now take the hoop that you've cut and marked into 3 equal sections. The connector that you've pounded in already is going to want to be facing out to the right. Put your hoop together. Go to your first connection. Cut your hoop and get your second connector. Again, a connector that has been sanded down on one side. The side that has not been sanded down, you're going to want to pound it in. And notice the line on these connectors. I pounded in so that that little ridge in the middle of the connector is inside the hoop. This makes the tubing on each end connect very smoothly and does not give you a little ridge or bump in your hoop. Cut the third connector. And again, pound in the side that has not been sanded. There's a 3-section hoop, but we're not quite done yet. So I've found when making hoops that even though these connectors have these nice ridges on them, it doesn't quite always hold them inside the hoop, and over time they're going to start to pull out. So to counteract that, we need to secure the connector into the hoop. What I use is your basic rivet. So depending on the rivet size you use, you're going to need to get a drill bit that'll match that size. Now make sure when you drill through your hoop that you're drilling through the side that the connector is pounded into, not the smooth side. You're going to want to drill a hole through your hoop in each one of the 3 sides. Now you get your rivet gun and your rivet, and you put rivets in all the way around your hoop and all the holes that you just drilled. This is going to secure that connector into your hoop, and you are not going to have to worry about it ever pulling out. I've tried glues and epoxies, all kinds of different things, and I found that the rivet is the most secure of them all. This is what it'll look like. So make sure to go around to each one of those 3 sections and put a rivet in. Now that you got the rivets in your hoop, go and tape your hoop. Wow, a new tape too. Look how quick that happened. Now we're going to want to put some holes in our hoop so that we can insert these snap buttons. These snap buttons are going to be what allows your hoop to be taken apart quite easily. If you got your snap buttons from me, you're going to want a 16 by 74-inch drill bit. Now you're going to want to measure your holes. So the distance you want is going to be a pinky's width from the crack, from the break in your hoop. And you know, your hoop is taped right now, so you just got to kind of wiggle it up and down a little bit to see where that break is. So measure about a pinky distance apart, and then you're going to want to drill down. You can use a drill gun instead of a drill press. Drill holes at each one of those places, 3 sections of your hoop. When you're doing this, make sure that you are drilling in the side that is the sanded side, not the same side that you've put the rivets in. That would be quite unfortunate. Now that we got the holes in our hoop, we need to insert the snap buttons, but right now our hoop is taped. So what you're going to need to do is get an X-Acto knife or a box knife and find where that break is in your hoop. Now it's going to be a little bit easier because there's holes right next to it. So cut around your hoop where that tape is, releasing the tape from itself. Do this to all 3 sections of your hoop. Now you're going to be able to easily pull your hoop apart. Now that your hoop is apart, take your snap button and you're going to insert it into your gray connector so that the button pushes through the hole and snaps through. Sometimes you need to put your pinky in there and kind of push it through a little bit. This only needs to be done once. Do that to each of the 3 holes. Voila! You've got yourself a collapsible hula hoop. So some of the supplies you're going to need for doing this project are 3 of these connectors. Remember, one side is going to need to be sanded. I sand all these down with my bench grinder. That actually takes quite a bit of time. You're also going to need these snap buttons. As of yet, I've not been able to find them in any hardware store. I have to order them by the thousands. And you're also going to need some rivets. And a rivet gun. I would say the rivets are the one thing that you could probably not absolutely have to use, and you could just experiment in what kind of hooper you are. If you hoop really vigorously, there's a chance those connectors are going to come out. But you could try it. And you're going to need some sort of knife for cutting the tape. So, seeing as you have to go out and buy hundreds of these snap buttons and lots of rivets instead of just the 3 of these and the 6 of these that you need, I'm selling packages of all the supplies you need to make yourself a collapsible hoop, except for the tubing. So go to thespinsters.com, get yourself a collapsible hoop supply kit, and have a hoop making party. Invite all your friends, make some hoops.